Today on Green Homes of Coral Gables, we'll be visiting with a woman who's a longtime resident and local activist. She was one of the first to pioneer a total green home upgrade in her neighborhood. Sally Jude has been a highly respected local civic figurehead and environmentalist in South Florida since the 1960s. She and her husband, Dr. James Jude, moved into their new home on Coral Gables Vizcaya Avenue this past year. The house is part of George Merrick's original French Normandy village built in 1926.
Historic houses really are as green as you can get if you think about it, because we're keeping existing materials and not getting rid of things for the dump and that type of thing. So they are very green. And I thought, let's try and make it as green as possible. And so we hired John Rogers, who is a green builder, and Bruce Brockhouse, who is the architect, and did this house as a green project. And first thing you need to think about is that a house needs to be like a tight envelope. And if you start there, then all of the other things become easier to do. So you want heavy-duty insulation in your attic and in the walls. And of course, we're fortunate in one sense that our code today meets hurricane requirements, so our doors and windows meet a very tight fit, and so that makes them very green also. You want to either use reused materials or materials that are renewable, like we have bamboo floors, and we have counters and backboards in our kitchen that are recycled glass. And so there are lots of different details that you can think about to make a house green.
The Jude family has proven that you don't need to sacrifice aesthetics or comfort in order to go green in your home.
On the outside, we have a catchment tank that holds 1,000 gallons of rainwater for our watering needs. And this comes from the gutters on the roof. And then we have a system that gives us solar hot water that is a fairly small system. And on our upper roof, we have 6.3 kilowatts of solar energy, which augments Florida Power & Light's energy. And what it does when there is no more power in the solar system, it switches to Florida Power & Light. But the really neat thing that this causes or makes happen is our bill last month was $14 and some cents, and this past month it was $13 and some cents. So you can see that there can be a big gain from using solar energy. Our sun, even on a semi-cloudy day, is still giving energy. It's amazing. And we in South Florida, who haven't much cold weather, we don't have snow on our panels or any of those things, so it really is a good thing to be able to do.
The Judes try to bring the outdoor green inside by utilizing the natural shade provided by their garden's trees to cool certain rooms throughout the day. Sally also relies on a shade tarp on her pergola trellis to keep some of her flowers and plants out of the intense Florida sun.
I think people who are thinking green are not naturally going to chill their house to the point that it's like an icebox, because when you go outside, you really suffer if your house is that cold. I think that keeping a more average 76, 78 temperature is probably part of having your bill at a lower level. Our air conditioning system has underground lines that are chilled in the groundwater, which keeps them from being exceedingly hot. People today are buying refrigerators and appliances that are more efficient because that's really what's being offered to us. So That's a good thing that's happening naturally. If I were being more perfect in this world, would be growing my own vegetables, because that is something that we all need to get into. And I'm thinking maybe by fall I'll start in a small way of doing that, because here in Florida we need to plant in the fall our vegetables, not for the summer use like they do in the rest of the country.
We hope you've been inspired to make some new eco-friendly improvements in your life, since the reward is beneficial for not only your wallet, but more importantly, our planet. For Coral Gables TV, I'm Brianna Moles.